Well, the Pistons keep on turning and the wheels go round and round. The calendar is ticking down to the end of the month of January. That means we have a transfer window closing shortly. Big matches in the Champions League as we wrap up our group stage or league phase or whatever you want to call it now. That big chunk of 8 games. We've got our final one, plus a matchup in League One. Are we still at the top of the table? Well, we'll see in a minute, won't we? And welcome back once again to episode number 147 of Bottom to the Top. I am Mr. Cellophane. We are 6 points clear at the top of the League One table through 19 matches, 16, 3-0. How we got there, we'll talk about that in a second. We are also in second place in the Champions League behind Bayern on goal difference, 18 points after 7 matches, 6-0-1. That match against Napoli, our lone hiccup. At the end of last episode, we did automatically qualify for the playoffs. And yes, as you can see, we have qualified to move all the way through to the round of 16. So, how did we get here? Oh, and by the way, we are in round 11 of the Coupe de France. How did we get there as well? The answer is by winning a lot of football games. 6 in a row since our last episode and the 3-2 victory over FC Porto. We came back home in the league, took care of Auxerre 4-0. Goals by Stain Gershkins, Iñaki, Laharai Laribe, and Serkan Kurt coming in relief once everything was basically done and dusted. Then we managed to come back and beat Strasbourg, the team that we drew in the first week of the season. 2-1, Baldassare and Gershke Akar scoring in those before we jumped into a little bit of a holiday break and our first 2 matchups in the Coupe de France. The round 9 pairing against Red Star was a bit easier. We were on the road. We won that one 3-0. Xavi Simon scored on a penalty, which got things started, and then a pair of goals in the second half by Ile LeBlanc. Now, Grenoble was a bit of a different story. We actually trailed in this one 2-1 late on before Vincenzo Brunelli equalized in the 85th minute. And then it took 13 rounds in the penalty shootout, each team missing twice, both in the same round, in round 8 and in round 11. So neither goalkeeper was able to score on their counterpart, but we did squeak through. And naturally, because the FM gods are just that mean. There's 16 teams left. There were 7 from Ligue 2. There was 1 from the 3rd tier, and we draw Rennes again. So our Coupe de France dreams may be, well, they may be over. We are going to be at home at the Parc des Princes. That is coming up. Actually, it's going to be the second match of this episode, and I say that because Manchester City, the match kind of means nothing, but obviously a loss to Man City could send us on like a downward spiral. If you followed the Twitch stream, you will know just how easy that is. The matchup against Caen on the road in the league, they're in 18th place. We expect to completely wipe them off of the pitch. So I think Man City and Rennes will be 2 pretty fairly entertaining matchups today. Who is going to be on the pitch for us as we take on Manchester City to wrap up the group stage or the league? I did it again. The league phase of the Champions League, the Champions League. It's Kim Seon-il in goal with Brunelli, Osorio, Tarasenko, and Shusha with Ventura and Gershkins manning the midfield. Baldassare and Laribe will be on the wings in support of Iñaki and Gershke Akar. Well, sometimes we do make things overly complicated on ourselves. Now, don't we? I don't even remember what that was in reference to, but that just popped into my brain. PSG playing host to Manchester City and a kickoff highlight. This can either be fantastic or very, very bad. Baldassare on a heavy touch as it's taken away by Fabio. He will drop it back for Hassani, and Saliba will take over. William Saliba. Who sold him to Man City from Arsenal? Who was the irresponsible boob who did that? I'm just surprised he's still playing there like 3 years later. One back by Paris Saint-Germain. Osorio will play it into the midfield. Gershkins ahead for Akar will lay it through Laribe along the near side. Carrying it toward the interior, runs into some traffic, so he'll drop it back for Tarasenko before he gets it once again. Over for Ventura. Played forward. Iñaki spins up for Baldassari. Into the middle. That's going to go in off of Saliba. It will be an own goal. And 1 minute in, it's PSG 1. Man City 0. Who was the genius who foisted William Saliba on Manchester City? All right. That's right. That was us. Now, I'm very happy to have done so, which means that PSG is now sitting at the top of the Champions League table on 21 points. Bayern Munich still yet to play. Man, it's really between us. So we're going to finish at worst second place in the league phase of the Champions League. Man City in control as the rain begins to fall in Paris. Herdero across for Escobar, playing it forward. He's got Rooney Bargi, and Rooney Bargi with his 10th goal of the year. That will not count because I saw the little assistant referee's little yellow flag go up, which means VAR is going to call this one back. All it takes is a little luck and a good offside trap to keep things 1-0 for PSG. 47,926 in attendance here as Ventura threads the needle to Iñaki. We'll just pass it right back to Ventura. Gershkins to his right foot, ahead for Akar. Akar looks to split the defense, shoot, and Hassani getting his gloves on that one to tip it over the crossbar, which will lead to a PSG corner. Paris Saint-Germain trying to take a 2-0 lead here in the 28th minute. Gershkins to deliver. Can't find Ventura. Rooney just knocks it down. There's Gershkins blocked out in front, or at least saved by the goalkeeper, bandied around before finally cleared by Man City. Wharton putting the ball out into touch for a throw-in. So far it's been all PSG. 5 shots on goal, although only the one on target. And it wasn't even the one that went behind the goalkeeper because, well, that was an own goal. It wasn't actually a shot on goal. So Hassani has not, well, he's made 2 saves, but not the one that really, really counted. 1-0 at the half. I don't even know how to explain it at this point anymore. It's just Football Manager Champions League football. Around the Champions League, AEK up 1-0 over Borussia Dortmund. It's Arsenal 1, Salzburg 0. Barca with the 2-1 lead over Partizan. No score in the Basel match, and we'll look at the rest when we get a moment. Akar with the corner. Rain coming down a bit harder. Headed away by Saliba. Tarasenko turning it back. Shusha leaves it for Gershkins, who will drive it from 22 yards out around the edge of the D. His 8th goal of the season. It's Paris Saint-Germain 2, Manchester City 0. And since we have taken it to this more possession-based, and it's hard to say this off of a set piece, but since we have moved to the more possession-based setup, we really just have done exactly what we needed to do, which is control games more, spend more time on the front foot. Basel and Braga, no score. Juve and Bayer Leverkusen 1-0. It's Chelsea 2, Legia Warsaw 0, and Napoli with a 1-0 lead right now. Shusha to throw it in. Laribi will look to settle it down before playing it back for Tarasenko. Trying to work it to the left because there's a bit of additional space there. Osorio to Ventura, has a man shadowing him, but he's able to lay it off for Brunelli along the near side. Brunelli dropping it for Ventura, playing it forward. Baldassari looking back post for Akar. It's going to be cleared out of the box, but kept in by Laribi. Baldassari knocking it down. It makes its way to Gershke. Akar, his 20th goal of the year, and it's 3-0 Paris Saint-Germain. So with the 3-0 lead, we're going to make a couple of changes. Xavi Simons coming in the midfield for Stain Gershkins. Xavi, probably the one player I can think of that may be moving along before the January transfer window is closed. It could be our last opportunity to get anything for the 34-year-old midfielder. Also, Alexandru Shusha moves over to the left-hand side as Baldari comes out. Jack Anderson coming in on the right-hand side. And PSG cruising to a very easy 3-0 victory. I definitely think I made the right call on the Con matchup. 4-0 your final score in favor of PSG on the road. Pair of goals and an assist for Lahorai Laribi. Jack Anderson added his first of the year. Il LeBlanc his 11th they got a lot of shots off, but we cruised to victory. The 14 shots on goal certainly flatters Con based on the way the game went. Vladimir Ryan, just so you know, that first goal by Anderson, simple popped header that he should have caught that went off his hands and just dropped at the feet of our center back who, he's not built to score, but he did it anyway. The Xavi Simons saga does still continue. It is the 31st of January. We're getting ready for that big cup matchup against Stade de Rennes. We did lose about 2 months ago. This happened to us. We had a youngster from our academy poached. Salim Zian is now under contract to Milan. We got $2.8 million in compensation for him. Also on their way out, Sonny Jabello and Hans Gruber Vikane. Both young players who are out on development loans. Meanwhile, 2 moves made to bring players in, either for the future on the pitch or for the pocketbook. First is 21-year-old Belgian U21 international Alexander Vermeeren. Can play anywhere up the middle, although he's a little short to be a stormtrooper. His passing is pretty good. Generally, I guess kind of average all around, but we were looking for additional bodies. Very not all that different from Xavi Simons, to be perfectly honest with you. He had a 25 million euro release clause. His value has nearly doubled since he came to PSG. We also plucked 19-year-old Florian Roos out of Romania. He's already capped 9 times, scored 4 goals for his country. He's a versatile midfielder, very, very hard worker. Great head on his shoulders, and his physicals ain't too half bad either. We got him for $3.5 million this year, $3.5 million spread out over the next couple of years. Think he's going to be a worthwhile investment, and probably will spend more time on the pitch than Vermeeren will, but who knows for sure. So sadly, no deal for Xavi Simons, who is one of 2 senior level players whose contracts expire in this summer. He's going to be staying with the squad, but Diego Velasquez, well, he's on loan to Alverca SAD. The Chilean international he just never really broke into the squad here at PSG. Decent looking player, great mental attributes. His passing is absolutely fantastic. But as a foreign player, we just had too many above him on the pecking order for him to see any good playing time. So, adios, Diego. And I'm sure you will be shocked to find out the 19-year-old we just brought in on deadline day is upset that we didn't register him for the Champions League, which we had to do the day we brought him in. Either way, Florian Roos, he's already upset. We've got off to the on the wrong foot with yet another player. Awesome. No matter, we are putting out a strong squad in round 11 of the Coupe de France. We're taking on Rennes. We beat them in the cup last year, but remember, they beat us on the last match day last year to really our chances were already sunk before that, but it just made it slightly more embarrassing. Kim Seon-il is getting the starting goal. A back four of Brunelli, White, Tarasenko, and Shusha. Ventura and Gershkins in the midfield with Baldassare LeBlanc in place of the injured or recovering from injury in Yaki, Gershke Akar, and Lahorai Laribi as our front four. Young goalkeeper Xavier Gibert. I think it's Xavier Gibert, the 18-year-old Frenchman. He is going to be on the bench for this one. Both teams showing up in excellent form, having won 4 of their last 5, unbeaten in God knows how many at this point. But we are the home team, so the only team with home cooking is Paris Saint-Germain. And the first highlight is ours, Brunelli. In for Ventura, dances around with it a little bit before playing it up for Stain Gershkins. Back to the near side, Brunelli. Up the sideline, Baldassare. He'll have a man chasing him, Baldassare. His cross is partially blocked, but it does sneak its way through to Gershke Akar, and there's his 21st goal of the season. And just under 6 minutes into this match, in the Paris rain, because, of course, now it rains in Paris all the time, too, just like London. Is this something about Football Manager where, like, in the winter months, all of a sudden it just every match is played in some kind of rain or inclement weather, that you can't just have clouds, maybe partially sunny skies? I don't know, but Akar does put us ahead. Looks like the rain has died down a bit, and Keeley taking it in, feeding it through Correa. First shot blocked, second attempt picked off by Kim Seon-il. He'll start it quickly by rolling it out to his left, and Devin White. Devin White, the United States... Well, he's a dual national. I forget what the other country was now. But Devin White, who plays for the United States, has been doing a very nice job on our back line. He's kind of supplanted Jose Osorio in that position. I mean, Osorio still gets plenty of playing time, but I think White is my first choice in that position to pair with Dmitry Tarasenko. In Keeley throwing one in. Kim Seon-il at the last second able to get his hands on that and push it behind for a Rennes corner. PSG with a 1-0 lead. We played just over 37 minutes. Labat looking to deliver, and Brunelli can't quite clear it. Dario looking far post. Cleared away. Ventura has his pocket picked by Nkili. Fofana will play it back for Correa, and that's going to end the highlight. And hopefully that will end the half. Like as few highlights as we could potentially see or possibly see in this match. The absolute better. It looks like LeBlanc has picked up a bit of a knock. We're going to replace him at halftime. I think Xavi Simons is going to come in. Gershkin's in control in the middle, taking it into the box. Gershkin's with the shot on, but Lopez saw that one all the way and was able to scoop that up pretty easily. We have played all 3 minutes of the 3 minutes added on, and the final whistle is going to blow to end the first half. 3-5, your shots on goal favoring Rennes. It's 1-0 PSG. We have had a bit of an edge in the possession as well. I think we're going to need to find another gear, and we're going to need to replace Il LeBlanc. It's going to be with Laribi. We're going to leave Xavi Simons on the bench. Danny Miller going to come in on the right wing. So it's going to be Baldassare, Laribi, Akar, and Miller now up top for PSG. Miller's been okay. There were rumors that we might have been looking to shop him. We just picked him up in the summer. There were rumors we might be looking to shop him in the January window. Obviously, we were not actively doing anything. We did not receive any offers that I'm aware of for him. So Miller is going to be our backup right wing as we originally intended for the remainder of the season. Dario cutting it deep across, looking for Nkili. Shusha will clear it. Can Gershkins get there first? No, but it doesn't matter because the highlight ends, and you know when the highlight ends, that's it. Anthony and Labe did leave this one in the 35th minute for Rennes, so they did have to make an early substitution, as frankly did we, with LeBlanc coming in place of Miller and Laharai Laribi moving into that centralized striking position to pair with Gershke Akar, who is going to take a corner here. Can we make it 2? Oh, penalty. Alex Guest with the shove, former Fulham football player. And that means Stain Gershkins is going to step up and take the penalty. He's made 2, missed 2, made 3 out of 5 so far this year. Picking up his 9th goal on the season, giving PSG a very strong 2-0 lead. Nobody needs to see a replay of a penalty kick. Penalty kicks or penalty kicks. Pietro Baldassare is feeling a wee bit knackered, so we're going to get him off. Glenn Oyvind Christensen, who is coming on. He's been a regular player off of our bench, and he's been pretty good. He's got 5 goals himself. That is going to be not the only change. Cesar Ventura is going to come off. We're going to play the unhappy man. Florian Roos will be making his PSG debut here in the Coupe de France with a 2-0 lead. Akar to send in the free kick. Aspar trying to clear it. Miller will settle it down, play it out for Roos. Roos with a drive, and that will just skim off of the top of the crossbar. Not a bad look from Roos from outside of the box. PSG now with the advantage, 9-8 in shots, although possession has moved its way toward the Rennes side. 3 minutes added on in this second half. We played nearly 2. Gomez out for Fofana along the near side. Guest back for Gomez in the middle. He will drill it from just outside the D. And Andre Gomez with his 8th goal of the season from 25 yards out to make it a 2-1 PSG lead. But I think it's most likely going to be too little too late with just a minute or 2 of added time, and it will be. So Rennes got a late goal back in the 92nd minute, but tallies from Gershke Akar and Stain Gershkins from the spot are the difference as PSG moves on in the Coupe de France. And we'll take on the winner of either Lorient or Sochaux in the next round of the competition, which I believe is the quarterfinals. That's not the quarterfinal we're worried about. We're heading to the round of 16 tomorrow in the Champions League. Who will we take on? Well, we don't know yet. We'll find out together. Hope to see you then. Thank you very much again for all of your support, for watching these videos, for liking these videos, which you can do so somewhere below, and subscribing to the channel. I hope to see you tomorrow. We've had fun so far. Best year at PSG yet. I'm staring at a sea of green. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.